You know that friend who always asks you how you're doing after a breakup? The one who tilts their head, gives you that look and says, "But are you really okay?" What do you tell them? Because I bet it's not the truth. I bet you say something like, "Yeah, I'm good, I'm moving on." And they smile, relieved. Like they've done their job as a friend. But here's what you don't tell them. You're not moving on. You're just moving. Let me paint you a picture. It's 2 a.m. You're lying in bed, scrolling through your phone. You know you shouldn't, but you do it anyway. You type their name on Instagram, just to see. And there they are, living, laughing, looking, fine. Better than fine. They look like they never even missed you. And suddenly, you're that person again. The one who couldn't let go. The one who said they were totally over it to literally anyone who would listen. Sound familiar? Here's the thing nobody tells you about moving on. It's not a switch you flip. It's not a destination you arrive at. It's not a box you check off and never think about again. Moving on is messy, it's complicated, it's 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. Some days you feel like a warrior who's conquered the world. Other days, you hear a song in a coffee shop and suddenly you're crying over your latte like it's 2019 again. And that's pretty much normal. But we don't talk about that part, do we? You want to know what moving on really looks like? It's keeping their number in your phone but never calling. It's seeing a meme that would make them laugh and having to stop yourself from sending it. It's going on dates with other people and comparing every laugh, every kiss, every conversation to theirs. It's telling yourself you're putting yourself out there, when really you're just hoping someone else can feel that specific shape they left behind. You don't move on from someone you really loved. You just learn to live with the ghost of them. And that ghost, it moves in with you. It sits in your passenger seat on long drives. It shows up in your dreams uninvited. It whispers "what if" at the worst possible moments. And you learn to make room for it, because fighting it is exhausting. So if you're listening to this and thinking, "Oh my God, that's me," if you're the person who's been pretending to be fine when you're definitely not, hit subscribe. Because this is where we talk about the stuff that doesn't fit in a motivational quote. This is Neon Confessions. And sometimes the most healing thing you can do is just admit that you're not healed yet. I want to tell you about the worst lie I've ever told. It wasn't to my ex. It wasn't to my friends. It was to myself. I looked in the mirror one morning and said, "I'm over this. I'm better now." And I believed it for like 3 whole hours until I saw a couple holding hands at the grocery store and felt that familiar punch in the gut. Until I realised I'd been buying the same shampoo she used to use, just so my bathroom would smell like her. Until I caught myself driving past her old apartment by accident for the 3rd time that week. You know what's actually brave? Not pretending you're over it. Not posting those "I'm thriving" photos and you're barely surviving. What's brave is saying, "I'm still figuring this out. I love them." And that doesn't just disappear because it's inconvenient. I'm not the same person I was before them, and I'm not sure who I'm becoming after them. Here's what I wish someone had told me. You don't have to be over it to move forward. You can miss them and still build a life without them. You can love the memory of what you had while accepting that it's over. You can carry the best parts of them with you while letting go of the pain. That's not weakness. That's wisdom, my friend. So the next time someone asks you if you're over them, maybe try this. "I'm learning to live with loving someone I can't have." Or, "I'm figuring out how to be happy without them." Or, "I'm not over it, but I'm moving through it." Because moving on isn't about erasing someone from your story. It's about writing new chapters where they're not the main character anymore. But they're still there, in the margins, in the memories, and that's okay. If you're still carrying someone in your heart who's not in your life anymore, you're not broken, you're not pathetic, you're not behind everyone else. You're just human. And being human means loving people even when it hurts. You ever notice how memories don't play fair? They never come when you call them. They sneak up on you when you're doing something ordinary, brushing your teeth, folding laundry, reaching for that stupid snack they used to love. And boom, you're back there. In the kitchen, their laugh echoes off the tiles. In bed, that one lazy Sunday morning you swore you'd never forget. And now here you are, proving yourself right. You didn't forget. And maybe that's the part nobody prepares you for. The fact that even when someone leaves your life, they don't leave your mind, or your habits, or your Spotify recommendations. They're gone. But they're not. You'll go through phases. You'll delete the photos, then dig them out of the trash folder 2 days later. You'll block them, then unblock them, then block them again, like it's emotional whack-a-mole. You'll rewrite history, tell yourself they weren't that great, and then you'll remember the exact way they used to look at you. Here's something else I realised way too late. Sometimes we don't want them back. We just want back who we were when we were with them. The version of us that laughed more, dreamed bigger, believed in things. It's not always about the person. It's about the way we felt when they looked at us like we mattered. But hear me when I say this. You do still matter, even now, even without their eyes to reflect it back to you. You are still worth the version of yourself you miss, and maybe it's time to stop chasing them and start chasing you. So what now? You've cried, you've journaled, you've tried meditating, tried ignoring it, tried dating someone else, or maybe several, and hoping that would fix everything. But maybe healing isn't about fixing anything. Maybe it's about forgiving the version of you who thought they'd last forever, and gently letting that part of your story rest. Not because it didn't matter, but because it did. Tonight, when you're lying there staring at the ceiling again, I want you to try something. Instead of asking yourself why it didn't work, ask, what did it teach me? What did loving them unlock in you? What did losing them reveal? And what parts of you are still waiting to be chosen by you? If nobody's told you this today, you're allowed to miss them and still not want them back. You're allowed to feel everything, all the love, all the anger, all the confusion, and not have a neat answer at the end. You're allowed to be a work in progress. We all are. And if your heart still aches, that doesn't mean you're weak. It means it worked. It means you loved deeply and honestly. And that's something the world needs more of, not less. There's something strange about closure. Everybody talks about it like it's the final scene, a conversation, a hug, a tearful goodbye that wraps everything up in a bow. But most of the time, closure is silent. It happens on a random Tuesday when you realise you didn't check the profile that day. It happens in the middle of a laugh with someone new, when for a second, you don't feel guilty for enjoying yourself. It happens when you stop trying to rewrite the ending and just accept it. Not because it was fair, but because it was final. You won't always get the apology. You won't get the explanation. You might not understand why they gave up or why you held on for so long. And that sucks. It really, really sucks. But you're still here, still breathing, still learning how to hold your own hand when it shakes. Still waking up every day, choosing to carry your heart even when it feels too heavy. That's not weakness. That's resilience. That's the quiet kind of strength that nobody claps for, but it's the kind that builds you back. So if you're still in it, still aching, still figuring it out, good. That means your heart's still beating. That means the story isn't over. That means there's more of you to find. And I promise, they were never the best part of your story. You are. Always have been. Always will be. Subscribe if this hit you somewhere deep. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. This was Neon Confessions, where we say the things we're all thinking, but nobody's talking about. In the next episode, we'll be diving into why you feel lonely even when you're surrounded by people. Until then, be gentle with yourself. You're doing better than you think. Good night.